Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining us after our lunch break. If everyone could take their seats, still got a few people coming through. I'm Don Black, and I'm going to be taking you through some of our research around AI around the world, or all around the world, as people were singing at me earlier. So we've been looking at the AI space for a number of years. Obviously, it's come up, and people have been talking to us about how the market's changing, what AI is going to do for these businesses, and every single vendor we speak to, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is AI. And we've been looking at this from an enterprise buying perspective for about 4 or 5 years of what are the key priorities of different businesses looking at and how those priorities are changing. And if we look at the pandemic era focuses around what were IT buyers looking for out of their communication stack throughout those times, you don't see anything about AI. You see a lot of focus around better collaboration. How are we going to collaborate better as an organizations? How are we going to provide better customer services? This was massive throughout the pandemic up until 2022. The number one reason that people were looking out of their communication solutions was that better customer service. Obviously, throughout the pandemic, people go, well, how do we make sure we can improve business continuity when people are working from home? How do we manage these telecoms estates? And then at the other end, obviously, how do we reduce our costs? Comes through as a massive focus around that. But at the end of 2022, and it's the third birthday 2 days ago of ChatGPT, we saw ChatGPT get launched by OpenAI at the end of 2022. And that's really heralded a massive change in the way that businesses are looking at their priorities. We saw in 2023, obviously pretty much everyone or the major vendors all launching their own LLMs. Suddenly everyone's talking about AI, and for the first time we see using AI to drive better productivity and efficiency come through as one of the top 5 priorities of organizations. And this extended into 2024 as well, getting higher and higher. Using AI to drive better efficiency and productivity was the number 2 priority in 2024. And we saw adoption of AI come and take off throughout that. Then interestingly, when we ran this survey back in September, I think it was this year, you can see across every single size segment of the organizations we surveyed, and this was 2,000 businesses across Western Europe and North America, AI becomes a core priority in those larger organizations and those number 2 priority that come through in smaller organizations as well. Even in those of 0 to 50 employees, they're seeing AI as a better way to drive efficiency and productivity. So this is no longer just a small trend that we're seeing. Every single business is looking at this of what they can do here. Interestingly, around that, you can see the number 2, which we hadn't seen before. If I go back a slide here, for the first time in 2024, you saw improving cybersecurity compliance come through. In 2025, you can see again, that is the number 2 thing. So as AI started up and people focusing on that, the focus around cybersecurity and compliance increased as a priority as well. So I had a quick poll on this, but maybe we could just see a flash of hands because I think I'm going to know the answer. How many of you are seeing demand for AI increase? That's a lot of hands. That's good. And how many are seeing it decrease? None. 1 over there. I'm going to question you later on that. So we're seeing this massively. Businesses are experimenting with AI. So a study with CDW saying 98% of organizations had initiated one AI project. Cavell, out of our latest data, 72% of those businesses that we surveyed said they're trying to embed or using AI technology within their communications stack. And those AI benefits are really manifesting themselves under a few key areas when they're looking to adopt AI. It's around that efficiency and productivity. It's around better data and analysis. It's around reduction of human errors, contact center as well, personalize that customer experience, and building new products innovation. So AI is driving some really interesting use cases coming out of here. But at the same time, we're kind of in an AI winter at the moment where there's a lot of people trialing things, but we're seeing reports come out on almost a monthly basis now of these AI projects failing, AI not delivering the ROI that we're expecting, abandonment rates coming through. So we're going into this kind of AI winter at the moment that everyone's pushing towards AI, everyone's talking about it, everyone wants something, but at the same time, it's not actually delivering any of the value that people are expecting out the side of it. And we're going to test this. We've got a panel coming up in a little bit. We're going to test some of these questions in here of what they're seeing as well throughout there. But we're seeing those projects fail for kind of 4 core reasons. Number 1, the AI solution is lacking focus. There isn't really a clear problem about what they're trying to solve with it. They're just kind of throwing a technology at an issue and going, well, maybe this will help here. Second point is access to data. There isn't enough good data out there to actually get an outcome from here. They're not training on the right data. The company hasn't organized the data in the right aspect, in the right way either. You then see a technology focus, so people just going, we're going to do AI, without really thinking around what that means. And the last one is some of the stuff's just too difficult to solve. Of going, AI is going to solve this for us. And they go, well, actually, it's going to solve a little part of that and not the rest of it. So there's still a lot of this kind of fluff going on about how AI is going to solve the world and things, but projects are failing at an unprecedented rate. What we do see in the communication stack is there's a number of AI enhancements that are coming through, and pretty much every platform we see is starting to build these services in. So from a contact center standpoint, you're seeing the agent performance and coaching, AI-assisted routing, seeing better analytics, call recording, hardware and conferencing. From a UCaaS perspective, we're seeing a lot of focus around AI there. The meeting experience from a recording transcription standpoint has got better with AI. That summarization and transcription, again, both in the UCaaS side and the contact center side is getting better. And we also see a focus on virtual agents and chatbots coming through. But again, it's still pretty basic things, making services that are already available better rather than creating whole new experiences. I think what's interesting from when we look at what Zoom have been doing with AI Companion and Microsoft Copilot Studios, now extending some of those AI agents into other applications and allowing them to work through there. It's still very early days, but I think that's going to grow as a focus of how can these agents go into other areas. There are also some emerging AI opportunities outside of this. So we've been looking at this voice agents market map for a while now. I think it's been shared since the start of the year when we talked about it. And we've done some research on the 190 companies that are involved in here. And they've raised about $2.5 billion in the last 12 to 18 months, I think it was. 30% have got a channel of some sort. Most of them are selling direct and very, very vertically aligned. So going after one vertical, trying to solve that. And they're doing well. Some of them doing okay out of it, but still a lot of very subscale. So 130 of the companies we looked at, under 10 million in funding of what they're doing there. They're very emerging startups, SMB tools, haven't got really enterprise value. Then you started seeing some of those larger ones grow, 10 to 50 million of funding coming through, about 40 of them. And there's a few massive ones who have started to merge as well, likes of SoundHound, 11 Labs as well, growing pretty fast, got lots of funding through here. And the other trend that we see out of this is a lot of acquisitions are starting to come through. So people or vendors are starting to look at these companies and going, well, actually, we can add this capability into our platform pretty quickly. And you've seen likes of Meta, NICE, Salesforce, Zendesk, all of them start buying some of these smaller companies to add functionality. We saw Zoom buy BrightHire, I think it was a week or two ago, really to add some more focus around the recruitment side of things. So again, from a vertically aligned standpoint, you're seeing acquisitions emerge from an AI standpoint. So it's fascinating looking at these businesses. What's going to happen to these 190 companies? I think if we look to this in 5 years' time, a majority of them will not exist, either because the larger vendors will build this capability into their own platform, or they'll get acquired. There'll be a few who do emerge and grow and become big enough that they're actually going to survive by themselves. But I still think there's a long way to go when we look at these as an opportunity of, are they going to be an opportunity? Are they going to be a threat? A lot of the private equity companies, investors we speak to are looking at this market map and going, this is a worry for us. I think there's more opportunities here. They're going to prove some use cases out of what they're doing with AI, which again can be replicated by the likes of you. There is also the opportunity for you guys to take some of these to market and start bringing some of these solutions in-house as well. So on the kind of what does this mean for you? One of the big questions we get is, are you guys set up to sell AI services at the moment? The majority of the room, I imagine, has come from a voice, UC, contact center background. AI is a new set of services. It's a new set of skills to do this. 42% of the respondents from our survey of 2,000 businesses said they would be approaching their existing suppliers to see what they could do with AI to enhance the solutions they have in place. If you're sat there going, we're not really sure what we're doing, we don't have the skills in-house, we'll talk about AI to them, but not really go that step beyond, they're going to look elsewhere. They're going to bring other people into that conversation. So I think you need to look at how you're going to upskill around this, what you're going to bring to the equation, where your value is going to be added around AI, and how you can get yourselves to be set up for AI services in the future.